Welcome to Knife Chats. If you like what you see, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, share it with friends, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Thank you. I picked up a second Great Eastern Cutlery toothpick a couple months back, actually, and this one is in the Copperhead Pony Cut Bone. It's the knife right here. I hadn't planned on actually doing a video on this knife. The main reason I picked it up is because I started carrying this one, the one in the Sandbar Stag, as an EDC knife, and very happy carrying it as an EDC. I liked the knife quite a bit, and I paid a good price for it, so I better have liked it. And that's one of the main reasons I started carrying it, is like, you can't go around being afraid to carry a knife because it costs a lot of money. Because, well, do you really want all your knives to end up being just safe queens? And the knife really doesn't have any sentimental reason for me to keep it and not carry it. Obviously, I would much rather lose something that costs, like the price of this knife, $15, $16, as opposed to a knife that costs right around $100. But you still gotta make that decision, and it's everyone's individual decision. But I finally broke down and started carrying this knife after about 8 months of just looking at it, and threw it in the pocket, carried it for a while, and started really enjoying carrying it. And then I thought, you know what, just in case it gets damaged or something, I should have another Great Eastern Cutlery toothpick. But as much as the Sandbar Stag is supposed to be the kind of knife that you want to collect, everyone talks about Stag. That's the way to go if you're going to collect traditional pattern knives. The ones that are going to go up in value is the Stag. But I looked at this one and it's like, you know what, it's nice, but I'm not crazy about the Stag, especially the dent you see right here. Definitely doesn't make any difference when carrying it and using it. Matter of fact, the dent gives me a great place for me to actually index my hand when I'm holding it and such, so I don't have a problem with it at all. And so basically I've been EDCing this knife now for about 2 months, and I'm very pleased with it. I do still occasionally go back and grab the 5-inch toothpick instead, because quite frankly, I do actually enjoy the 5-inch toothpick in the pocket more than the 4-inch toothpick. But this knife is definitely more legal to carry just about anywhere, so that's a big plus on it. And the blade is pretty good for your a toothpick blade on a 4-inch handle, because well, here's a 4 1/4 inch one by Rough Rider. I also like that one too. Notice the difference between the two blades, though. The one on this toothpick is more of a muskrat style blade, and it definitely has more of a belly on it, so it makes a better EDC knife. I think you've got a little bit more blade going on with it. But anyway, this video is really not about this knife. This video is actually supposed to be about this knife. So let's talk about this one, the one that I wasn't really planning on talking about, but figured I should at least mention it. Well, one thing I can say is this one is still available. The Stag is not. And like I said, it is the Copperhead Pony Cut Bone, which is kind of a confusing name for the knife, because you hear Copperhead toothpick and you're thinking that it should have a copper head on the top, but the Copperhead does not refer to the pattern of the knife. The knife is just your standard 4-inch toothpick that you're going to get from Great Eastern Cutlery. I believe the Copperhead refers to the color of the bone, and the Pony Cut refers to the jigging that is used on the bone, which is kind of an interesting jigging too. Kind of like it. It's kind of like a basket weave or something, and the color does have a definite coppery color to it, so I'm guessing that it's the color that you would find on a copperhead snake, and maybe that's why it's called Copperhead. Other than that, the build quality of this is really fantastic, which you would expect with a Great Eastern knife. And this is a Northfield unexcelled, so it does have the typical pinched bolsters with the threading going on. Threading on the powder horn pommel as well, and then the exact same blade that you find on the Sandbar Stag one. All of them will have the same blade with the same blade edge going on there with the Northfield unexcelled on it. And this one has the propeller shield on it, which is pretty cool too. One of the things I did like better about the Stag one is the fact that it doesn't have a shield. I do kind of like it without the shield, but this one has the propeller shield, and that's kind of nice too. See there, the brass liners, brass pins. You can feel the pins for sure. That's probably because of the jigging. You can also feel the shield a little bit, again because of the jigging. It's a very deep jigging in there, if you can see it there. But the transition into the bolsters is actually quite smooth, so that's pretty good. And you can see it back here too. It's pretty good. I can feel it ever so slightly, right? Nope. Actually, what I'm feeling is the threading. Very deep threading going on the bolsters there. But transition into the bone and into the brass liners is quite good on here too. Well, it's a Great Eastern knife. You're spending a good penny for it, so it should have a really good build on it. And opening and closing is really quite well too. It's got a pull, I would say around 5 or 6. Same with both of them. This one opens a little easier than the other one does, but again, I have been pocket carrying this one for a couple months, so it has been in and out of the pocket and used daily for about a month, and no major tasks going on with it, mainly peeling apples, cutting fruit, cutting meat, cutting the occasional box open, something like that. And it's doing fairly well. Did a little stropping, nothing dramatic on it, and I've been keeping the blade clean. But you can see there is a little pocket linen there I've got to get out. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, and now I have one for the pocket and a spare, and I'm pretty happy with it. And to tell you the truth, when this one showed up, I debated, do I want to continue to carry the Stag and potentially damage it, or do I want to carry the Pony Cut bone? And I ended up deciding I'm just going to keep carrying the Stag because I actually like the way this one looks better than the Stag. That's just me, but that's the way it is. It's not a perfect match on both sides, as you see. This side is a little darker than this side, but to be honest with you, all in all, I just think this one has a little more style to it. I think they did a really good job with the Pony Cut bone, and I like that copperhead color in the bone. So that's why this one ended up being the showpiece, and this one ended up being the one that's going in the pocket. Which is kind of strange, because if you collect knives, especially traditional pattern knives, what you'll hear among the collectors all the time is, go for the Stag. The Stag is the one that's going to retain value. That's the one that is going to go up in value over time. The bone handles is not going to go up nearly as much as the Stag. So if I was a smart investor in knives, this is the knife that would be the showpiece, that would be in the safe, and this is the knife that would be in the pocket. But quite frankly, this is the one that I like better, so this is going to be the secondary knife, the spare. This will be the one that I'll break out for special occasions, and this is the one that's going to be in my EDC rotation. If I'm not carrying my 5-inch toothpick, I'll be carrying this one instead. But in any case, I thought I'd show both of these, and well, stick around for the slideshow. I'll compare this knife with a few other toothpicks in my collection. Thank you for visiting Knife Chats. I hope you enjoyed your time here. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel and ringing that notification bell so that you will be notified when the next episode of Knife Chats is up online. Thanks again. See you soon.